Once again, you are welcome to Rockpower Data and Digital App. In today's video, we'll be talking about revenue generated. We have this data and we build this wonderful dashboard. This dashboard based just solely on revenue. And if you'd like to build this wonderful dashboard with me, let's start together. I'm going to teach you how to design this dashboard, how to build it step by step, and I'm going to teach you what type of chart to use when it comes to building your Power BI dashboard. So let's ride together. I've already opened my Power BI ready. So I'm going to click on the blank report and I'm going to click on import from Excel. That is where I have my data. I have my data format. Then I go to my download and also I'm going to have my Excel dashboard. Then I'm going to click open. Then we wait a bit for the Power BI to load our data. As we can see, it's connecting. We just have to wait for some minutes and let's see what goes after. Then after that, we view. This is our data. We go to data. That is what we'll be using. Click on your data. And we have to just preview our data to see if everything is perfectly exactly, if that is the data we want. So this is the data we are going to use. So the next thing is we are going to click on transform because we are going to transform the data. Despite the fact the data is well cleaned, but still I will still advise you to use transform because using transforms helps you to really see if anything is actually wrong with the data and you'll be able to clean the data as necessary. So we are going to transform. Then we wait for the Power Query editor to be opened. And when the Power Query editor is open, this is the Power Query editor of the Power BI. So we wait for our data to be fully loaded so that we'll be able to continue. So we can see we have our data in the Power Query. As my custom always is, I always advise you after you've load your data to load and transform to the Power Query, go to view, click on column quality. We want to see if we have a clean data. Then we can see our data is well cleaned. Everything is 100% valid. There is no error. There is no empty data. So that is fine. You can uncheck. Then go back to Home tab. The next thing we are going to do is we are going to check if the data type, if they are correct. They are actually correct. So when you scroll to the right, you can see, let's wait a bit, our revenue is also in the right format. Our shipping field also. Then we have our commission. Everything is perfectly okay. Before we click close and apply, the next thing we are going to do, we are going to move the date column to the side. So let's just draw it to the side and let's wait a bit. So we have our date column and also our dates is the right format. So that means everything is perfectly okay. So the next thing we are going to do, before that, let me scroll to the left again, to the right again. Let me cross check this time around. Everything is perfectly okay. Then we go to the Home tab. We just come here, click, close and apply. So when we click close and apply, it takes us to our data model where we are going to be visualizing our data and where we are going to be choosing the type of chart that we are going to use. So if you are new to my channel, if you are new to Power BI, you can just try to watch other of my videos. Have already have some videos on Power BI. And if you find this video interesting, or if you find this video useful, please subscribe, comment, and share. It will help the YouTube channel to grow, and it also help as many that need to learn something from it. Either you are a beginner, either you are an intermediate level, either you are a professional Power BI user. There's so many things you can always gain from the video. So we learn every day and we improve ourselves every day. So you come here, this is our, we are waiting for it to fully load so that the data will appear. Then from there we continue our work. So we have our data here already. I wanted to show you something here. Here is what we call our report view. So this is where the report is going to be. We can also call it our dashboard. Everything is dashboard. So we are going to have our report view here. Here is our table view. Our table view is where we have all our table data. As you can see, we have everything here. Peradventure, I have 2 or 3 tables. They are all going to appear here, and I'm going to make a video on that using 2 or 3 different type of table, and we are going to be talking about later on. We are going to be talking about relationship, because I have just a single table here, so there is nothing to connect together. So we have just one here. So we go back to our report view. Then the next thing is we have to save. So go to file, save as. It depends on the name you have to, or you want to give to your dashboard. In my own case, I already have revenue dashboard, so I'm going to have what we call revenue report. Revenue report. So the next thing is I'm going to click save. After that, then we come back here. We want to build the same thing like this. So we want to analyze our data. We want to design the dashboard exactly the same way we have this. So we go back to our own new dashboard. So you go to insert. From insert, you go to shape. From the shape, we are going to pick a triangle, and we are going to be using rounded triangle. So you can pick this triangle, and we are going to draw it down here. So make it straight, and we are going to reduce it a bit. So we reduce it a bit, then we have it this way. We can also still reduce it a bit, and we make it forward. So the next thing we are going to do, we are going to format it. So come to these 3 dots, click format, and from there we are going to, let's go to shape, size and style. Let's go to background, and let's go to, we don't have anything there, so let's go to style, shape and style. From the shape and style, we don't want the border, we remove the border. We remove the fill. If we need the border, we are going to, let's click back the border. Let's remove, okay, we already removed the fill, click out, and let's see, let's click back. We are still going to adjust some things in it. So we already have our border, so we don't, let's check the border. We don't want the blue line, we just want something transparent a bit. So let's see. So we have it. Then we are going to apply the shadow. So let's move down and let's go to where the shadow is. This is our shadow, and exactly that is what we want. So we are going to copy, and we are going to paste. So we copied, and we are going to draw this, and we are going to make it 3 places. So we have this, so we are going to copy again into 2 places, copy again, copy and paste. So we have, this is 1. Did I have another one? This is 2. So let's adjust it. We adjust it a bit, let's adjust it. And let's adjust this as well. So we have this here, we can always expand it a bit. So we want everything to be on the same line. Bring this closer a bit, we adjust this a bit as well. I think this is over. So let's have this and we adjust this a bit. So we are going to have one bigger than the other, so this is going to be a bit smaller compared to the other ones that we are going to have. So we have this, we can still expand this a bit, we can still expand. So this, we move this up a bit, still up. So we are going to adjust everything when we are fully ready. So in this video, we are not going to create anything major. So we are going to use the data set straight. So if you want to learn how to create some layers, you can just check my other videos, you will find it there. And there's going to be a video based on that. So we are working on that and we are going to make the video soon. So you can see, so we have this bigger, we have this follow, and we have this follow. So we are going to arrange everything before we finish our video, because we have to adjust everything accordingly. So the next thing we are going to do, the first thing we are going to do here, we want to see the unit price, the unit cost, the shipping fee, and the revenue. These are the 4 things we need. 1, 2, 3, 4. As I've said, we are not going to create any mail. We just want to use this straight because this is for learning purpose. The project has been built already. So the first thing we are going to pick our revenue. So let's pick a card. We pick a card here. No, we are not using this card. We are using the new one. So let's remove this. Come up here and let's pick a card from here. So we are using this card. So just have to reduce it a bit. Reduce it a bit as well. So we are going to pick our revenue first. So revenue is the first thing we are going to pick. And let's wait and see. So this is our sum of revenue. So we are going to change some things there. So let's go to format and we are going to format it. So the background, we don't need the background. We are removing the background and we are going to the title already. Everything is going to be adjusted. So let's go to the cut value. We are going to the value and we are going to use area black and we are going to make it 20. Don't worry, we are going to make it 20 and we go to our label and we are going to make it area black as well. And we are going to make it probably 9. We are going to make it, let's make it 10. And we are going to center everything. So let's come back to our value. Everything is centered and I still want us to reduce it to probably, let's say 17 would be better. I think 17 is actually good. So let's reduce it a bit. We don't want the background, we don't want the label, everything we don't want. So actually, let's click back on this. This is the new one. Let's use this back. Yeah, because this will not give us what exactly we want. So we go to our category label. We have to Let's go back up. This is our size. This is our value, called value. Because we change everything, so we're using here a black, then we are having 17. Let's just make it as 17. Perfectly okay. And we are going to go to our colored value. Let's go to label. We are making the label as well. Here black, and we are going to make it 10. Let me see. 10 is perfectly okay. So there is no background, there's nothing. Let's click out and let's see. Exactly, that is what we want to achieve. So before we copy and paste, the next thing we want to do is let's adjust it a bit. We've already done that. Then we want to change from sum of revenue. We want to rename it. If you want to rename, you can just come here. From sum of revenue, we just want to make it a total revenue. Total revenue. So you can just click enter. So we have that already. So the next thing we do is we copy and paste. So we are going to copy and paste it in 4 places. So this is copy, this is paste 1, this is paste 2, this is paste 3, this is paste 4. So let's move it around. Let's move it around. Let's move it around as well. And let's move this around. So we are having everything perfectly. So the next thing we are going to do. So this is already okay. Then we come back to this. Then we are changing this and we are going to make it our total unit cost. So let's come to the unit cost. We are having this as our total unit cost. So the only thing we are going to change here is just the name. So we don't have to format anything. Just change the name to total unit cost. And you click enter. So we have that already. Then the next thing is we are going to have this to be our total unit price. So we have our total unit price here. Remove the revenue and the total unit price. So the only thing we are going to do here is also we are going to rename it to be total unit price. Total unit price. Then the third one. The fourth one, we are going to have our shipping fee. And where is our shipping fee? We have our shipping fee to be this. So you're also just going to have shipping fee. So let's remove just shipping fee. Then the last one, then we are going to have our commission. Then we are going to remove the revenue, go to the commission. So we have our commission. So just we are going to remove the sum of commission. We are just going to make it the commission. Then enter. So this is done. Then you can just save your work. So let's continue to save. So the next thing we are going to do, we want the revenue by payment type. So this project based on just revenue. We want to see the amount of revenue generated, and we want to see the revenue by customer, revenue by product, revenue by state, revenue by salesperson. Everything is just about the revenue. So the first thing is we want to see the revenue by payment. So we are going to use a line chart. So let's come here. We are having a line chart here. And we want the revenue, first of all. This is revenue by payment type. So we look for the payment type by revenue. So So we have this already. So we are going to, that means we still have to adjust this a bit for this to fit in. So we are going to expand this a bit up. I think it should be fine like this. So just pick this in between. So we are going to bring this down a bit. We're still going to bring this down a bit. We adjust everything later. So let's come to format. We don't want background. And we don't want the title because we are going to put the title ourselves. So the next thing is, let's go to grid. This is grid. The dot line is the grid. So we don't want the grid. We are removing the grid, so we don't want it. So when you switch it off, it's off. So we don't want the grid. So that is why we are switching off the grid. So the next thing that we are going to do, we go to the x-axis. X-axis is fine. Then we go to the y-axis. So let's look for the y-axis. In the y-axis, we don't need the title. So let's remove the title from the y-axis. Everything is fine. Then the next thing is we have to put data label. So let's go to the data label. Let's put it on. And we have it perfectly okay. So the next thing is we are going to sort it. So we don't want it to be from the largest to the smallest. We want it to be from the smallest to the largest. So we are going to sum it. So come back to sort. From sort, this is sum of revenue. We want to use payment type as sort. And you come back here also. Sort again. You go back to ascending, not descending. So when we use ascending, you can see from the smallest to the biggest. So that is what we want exactly. Then we come back here. We don't want sum of revenue. So we want just revenue. So just make it, let's just make it revenue by payment. Revenue by payment. So that when you hover it, it will not show the sum of revenue. It will just show revenue. Let's see. You can see revenue. So cash, revenue generated by cash. So the next thing is we are going to put our label, our title on it. So we don't want to use this title. Let me see. So perfectly. That is what we want. We can just move this up a bit. So let's move this up a bit and let's come back to here. Test box. Click the test box. And we're just going to make it payment by revenue by payment type. Revenue by payment type. So that is what we want. So we just have to, 10 is good, and we are going to board it. So, and that is what we want. So let's pick it and bring it down here, and let's reduce it a bit. So we are going to format it. Let's go to format, background. We don't want the background, so everything is perfect regarding this. So you can see, so we are having the same thing as the one we have. So save your work, please, in case, because your system might shut down. So that is why I always encourage you to save your work, save your work, save your work. So the next thing is we need our revenue by month. So we want to see every month, how much do we generate? How much do we have? So we go to line chart again. So we are using the line chart and we are bringing it down here, and we are going to reduce it a bit as well, and we are going to put revenue Where's our revenue? So we have our revenue. This is revenue. Then we look for our month. Let's go to our other dates, date hierarchy. Then we have month. So revenue by month. So we have our revenue by month. So when we draw it down a bit, you can see the month is showing. No, this part we don't want the x-axis, so we are going to format this as well. So let's go to format and let's remove the background. We don't want the background, and the title we are going to make it revenue by month. So you don't have to do it here because we can actually do it here. That is why if there is nowhere to do it in the title, I can easily do it here. So revenue by month. So we just make it revenue by month, and we are going to center it. So we want it centered. Then the next thing is we don't want the grid line. This is the grid line, so we don't want it. So let's remove the grid lines first. Let's go to the grid lines. So this is the grid line. So let's remove it. Then let's go back to, we want to, let's see, title. For the y axis, we need the value. So let's go to the x-axis. The x-axis, we don't need the title. So we are removing the title. Then the next thing is we are going to put our data label. So let's go to the data label. You have to scroll down so to get the data label. So we are going to put on our data label. So already we have the data label, but we want to make it on top. Let's see, this is data label position. Go to position and make it above. So that is what exactly we want about the data label. So we are going to expand this a bit for it to contain the other one. So we have this. So we have our revenue by month. So let me see. So we click outside in order for us to see this. So revenue by month. So you can see February sum of revenue. We have this, so you can leave it that way. So the next thing is we want our revenue by category. So the project is all about, we want to see revenue generated, and we want to see revenue by month, revenue by category, everything about the revenue. So we are going to use our, let's use our cluster bar chart, and let's see. So we bring this down, and we are going to pick our revenue. So let's go to our revenue. This is revenue by category. So we go to our category. This is our category. So we are choosing revenue by category. So, and you can see we have a lot, but we need the first top 5, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is what we need, the top 5 category. So that is what we are going to do. So the next thing we are going to do is we come to our filter. You just pick the category, put it on the filter here, then go to basic. You can see filter type. We don't want to use basic filtering. We want to use, we have top N, we have basic filtering, and we have advanced filtering. So we are going to use top N, and our top N is going to be the top 5. We want to see the top 5 IS category that give us the revenue. So the next thing is we are going to apply our value here. So we take our revenue, we put it in the value field. Just look at the hard data field here. This is our value, so you put it here, then you click apply. So it's going to give us the top 5. You can see we have the top 5 exactly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the next thing is we are going to format. We don't need the background, so we remove the background as usual. The title, we are going to make it revenue. I think this title is for X and Y axis, so we remove the title for, let me see once again, put in the title. Okay, this is our title. So we go to the title, so we need a revenue by category. That is all. Then we are going to center it. So make it centered. So then the next thing is we are going to remove this, and we are going to remove this, and we are going to remove the category. We don't want the category already. This is showing the category. Then we are going to remove sum of revenue. We don't want it. These are the x-axis and the y-axis title that we are going to remove. So let's scroll down. So we have our y-axis. Let's remove the title. We don't want the title. The reason why we are removing the title already, we have already put in a title here, revenue by category. So already, because we are going to put our data label. So since this show revenue by category, it shows that these are the category and the revenue is the number showing inside. So I hope you understand that. So for the x-axis, we are going to remove the title as well, and we are going to remove the value because we are putting the data label to be the value. So the grid line, already there is no grid line. I think it was already off. So we go to data label and we'll put it on. So everything is outside. So in case, let's come here. This is data label. Look at the position, automatic. This is auto. So in case I have it in between, I can just decide to choose where I want it to be. Inside end, outside end, inside center, outside center. Let's say for instance now, let's make it inside end. You can see we are having it inside end. And let's change it to outside end. You can see we are having it outside end. So the outside end work as automatic. So that is why we are having it like that. So let's leave it outside end. So the next thing we are going to do is we have everything perfect. Our values are there. So we just have to adjust this. I think you can just click out to see if we have everything perfect. We do. We have everything perfect. So we can just move this up a bit. So we are almost done. Always remember to save your work. The reason why I normally go to file and save is because sometimes I would think that I've already clicked save and just click somewhere around here and just move away. So that is why I always go to file to save. So the next thing is we need revenue by products, revenue by customer. Revenue by product, we are using a pie chart, and revenue by customer, we are using a donut chart. We can as well use a pie chart for both, and we can as well use a donut chart for both. But I decided to make it donut chart and pie chart. So the next thing is we go to, let's click outside here. Then we are going to have our pie chart. And we are going to put the pie chart here. So we can as well reduce or expand. It depends on how big. So we are going to pick our revenue. So let's go to the revenue. We have our revenue. Then followed by product. Where is our product? So this is the product name. We have our product already. So we have revenue by product. As you can see, we have a lot of products, but we are not interested in a lot of products. We are only interested in the top 5 products that gives us the highest revenue. So that is what we're interested in. So we go to our filter. This is our filter. So we'll pick our product name. We put it at the add data value, data field. Then we go to, just click here, drop down and top N and make it 5. Then add data field here. Our data field is going to be our revenue. So we had our revenue, then we click apply. So we are having the top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the top 5 that we need, not all the revenue. So we don't want the background. We remove the background as usual. Then the title is going to be revenue. The title is going to be revenue by product. So we have revenue. Just remove the sum of revenue. Then we are going to center it again. Then let's move down. We don't need the legend. Let's remove it. Then we go to our data label. Label contents. We need all details label. Why we are using all details labels is because we want to see the product, the amount, and the percentage. So that is why we are picking that. So we are still going to adjust this, so don't bother yourself about it, just leave it that way. So the next thing we are going to pick is our donor chart. So we want the donor chart, and the donor chart, as I've said, is going to be the customer by revenue, just for you to see the difference between the donor chart and the pie chart. So, and we are having our donor chart. We are having our donor chart here, so we can just expand it or reduce it a bit. So we have it here already. Then we are going to pick our revenue, and we are going to pick our customer. So we want to see which of those customers really gave us the highest revenue. So we have so many customers here, but we are not interested in so many customers. We are only interested in the top 5 customers that gave us the revenue. So we come here, sum of revenue. So we are going to add filter. We need top 5 as usual. Then basic filtering. We can as well pick our filter here, but you just have to scroll down, look for the biggest tick, but we don't want to do that. So in order for us to be on the safer side and make our work smooth, we come to top n and we just pick top 5. Then we had our data field here, which is going to be our revenue. Then we put our revenue, then click apply, just the way we did the pie chart. So we don't want the background, we remove the background. The title is going to be total revenue. Don't worry, the title is going to be revenue by customer. So don't put it total, please, and just make it center so everything will be uniform. So we are making it a center, so we don't need the legend. Remove the legend. And the next thing is we want the data label to be all data label. All data label, so everything is perfectly. Why? Because we need the name, the amount, and the percentage. So we are done with this. So the next thing we are about to do now is we need revenue by state. Which of those states give us the highest revenue? So we'll be able to target them in the next here. Then revenue by 6%. You know, this is a 6 revenue, 6 dashboard. So also we want to see the 6 personnel that give us the highest revenue, so that we are going to gift them for the end of the year party. So we are going to use let's pick clustered column chart, and let's see our cluster column chart. We have it here. So we want revenue by state. So this is the revenue. Then we want it by state. Let's go to the state. Where is our state? Also we have the state here. So revenue by state, and we have the top 5 state already without trying to apply a filter. So the only thing we do now is we format it. It's already opened. We don't want the background. Let's go to the title, and we are going to just make it revenue. We don't want the sum. Then put it centered. Then let's scroll down to Y and X axis. We don't need a title for the X axis, and we don't need a title for the Y axis, but we need both value. And let's go to grid. We don't want the grid, so we are removing the grid. Then the next thing is we go to the data label, and let's apply our data label. Perfectly done. So we have this. So the next thing is we adjust it a bit, and let's see. everything is perfect. So we go to revenue by 6%. That is going to be the last chart we are going to have. Revenue by 6%. So we can easily copy and paste this. So let's click out if it's not working. So we are using the same chart. So copy and paste. We have it here. Then just remove state and we have our 6%. So we want to see revenue by 6%. So we have so many 6%, but we only need the top 5. So we go to our filter, applied, and we need the top 5. So just make it top n. Click on the top n and make your top 5. The filter, we need our add data here, which is by value. Then we add it. So everything is perfectly okay. Then because we've already formatted this, we don't have to format this anymore. So we have our revenue by state. So we change the title. It's going to be revenue by state. It's going to be revenue by 6%. So let's go to the title. Revenue by 6%. Then we have it perfectly. Okay, so we can click out. Then the next thing is, let's save. Let's save. Then we don't need the data. We can as well collapse it. Let's wait. We don't need the data. We don't need the build. So we can collapse. So we don't need the filter as well. We can collapse. But we need the format because we are going to arrange it better. So we have this here. And we are going to, this is perfectly okay. We are going to bring this down a bit. And we can just move this up a bit. So, and the next thing is we are going to reduce this because we are going to expand this. So let's reduce this a bit. Let's reduce this a bit. And we move this down. So we move this up a bit. So I think this should be fine. This is fine. Okay. We are going to, let's move this down somehow a bit. And we can as well expand this. So we have our revenue by month, that is fine. Then we want to expand this. So we want to expand this. So let's expand it somewhere around here. That is okay because we like to, you can click out if it's not working. Then we want to expand this. So we bring this a bit here. We want all the figure to be showing. So we want all the percentage to be showing. We want all the percentage to be shown without anyone hiding. So I think we have it perfectly okay. Let's see. Everything is good. This is actually just a bit. We just have to expand this a bit as well. We want all the percentage, all the figures showing. So let's click out. We have this perfectly as well. And I think this should be okay. Let's move this up. move this up a bit, and let's see, this is not looking good. Move this. We just have to adjust this a bit, so we want to move this up a bit, so this can, let's see, so this can move up. So this can move up as well. So let me see. So this is good. So the next thing is we are going to move this a bit up as well to be run with this. So we want to move this up a bit. So let's see. Then we move the pie chart up. You can click outside. Then let's move this up. So we have that perfectly okay. Good. Then we can as well move this up a bit. That is perfectly good. Then we come back to here. We move this up a bit as well. And I think we can just move this down somewhere around there to have the same thing with. Let's see if they are actually equal. I think this needs to, we can just draw this down a bit. So the next thing is we adjust this. So they can be, so this still needs to be moved up. We still have to draw this up a bit. Let me see perfectly. So the next thing is you can click out of it, then click on the line chart and draw it up a bit. Please, if you find this video interesting, please subscribe, please comment, please share if you find it interesting. So we are going to draw this out a bit. We want to, so we don't want the data to be, we want everything to be inside. So we can actually move this a bit down. So let's see. Then this should be run with this. This should be in the same line with this. So do we have, okay, perfectly. Then we can just draw this down a bit. So this. So you can just try to, this has already moved down. We don't want it moved out. We still want this back up. So I think everything should be fine by now, except this moving up. Perfectly good. You can arrange it to your own taste. You can arrange it the way it suits you best. I want everything to be in between. I don't want any number to be outside. So I think we are good to go. So please, let's save. Let's save. And the next thing we are going to have is let's put our title, which is going to be revenue 6 revenue report. So go to insert and go to, for us to put our title so that anybody that sees the dashboard will know what the dashboard is all about. So we are making it our revenue generated. So we are going to, let's reduce it a bit and let's pick it. Revenue generated. So we are having it here. So we are going to just make it a centered and we're going to format it. So we don't need a background. That's all. That is the only format we need in it. Every other thing is perfectly okay. So I was thinking we have to adjust this a bit. Let's see. Let's just, if we can adjust this a bit. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. And let's go to our data label colored value. I think that's really too big. So we want to make it the same thing. So we can actually, I think that is perfectly good. So everything is fine, but everything is not right. So we want to make it the same way. So what about this? What do we have here? We can, so credit card. Credit card, so we have this perfectly okay. Then we just have to, the same line, make sure everything is the same line. So this, we have to make it up a bit. So that is good. Make everything the same line. Make everything the same line as well. And make everything the same line as well. So let's see. And we are going to adjust this a bit to align with this. So perfectly good. The last thing, but not the least, we want to put our background color. That is why we are not using the background. So the background color that we are going to use, or that I want us to use, will be, I want us to change something new. Let's try this. And let's reduce it a bit. I don't know. I told this we have to background. Let's remove the background. So, and we are going to somehow, let's bold it and let's have it outside click. So we have come to the end of this wonderful dashboard. Please, if you find this video meaningful, if you find this video educating, if you find this video enjoyable, please subscribe, please comment, please share. I want as many that comes across this video to please subscribe, as many that comes through this video to please comment, share, and you can as well give an opinion. What next do you want me to make video on? Please just let me know. I will surely work on it. Once again, my name is Meropo, Data and Digital Lab. Thank you for riding with me. Thank you for learning with me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for sharing. See you again. Bye.